Our first voice note is from Grace.
Dear Jill, my name's Grace and I've been a cleaner for an elderly lady for the last 5 years. During this time, we'd become quite close, as I seemed to be the only contact for her in the outside world, and to my knowledge, she had no living family. I would take her out to places that she remembered from her youth, and we'd laugh about some of her stories. However, I had never even considered what would happen in the event of her death. And when she died quite suddenly, I was very distressed, as I knew I would miss our time together. In my surprise, I was made aware that I was in her will, and she left me quite a large sum of money. Now, I've always struggled and I've had to work all my life. So, although the money has allowed me financial security, it's also caused some problems. My husband has big plans for my inheritance, and I don't agree with him. I want to do something in my friend's memory and give some of it to worthy causes which I knew that she supported. But my husband wants to spend, spend, spend. I've always known that money changes people, but I'm actually quite disgusted and angry by the way he's handled this. So, what should I do?
Oh, yeah, money. It complicates a lot of things. What a situation. I mean, first of all, I'm really sorry that you lost your friend. It sounds like you had like a really gorgeous relationship, and how lovely to have like found each other in that way. That's really beautiful. Um, First of all, the money was left to you. So therefore, in my mind, in the sort of simplistic way of looking at things, I think, so it's your money, you can do with it what you want. But then again, I know you're married, and if your marriage so far has been a like what's mine is yours kind of situation where you just share everything financially, then obviously that money coming in is going to feel like it's for both of you. But I think your husband has to understand that when you inherit money like that, and when it's come out of something that felt so real to you and totally not about money, it was about something much deeper than that. I think your husband has to understand that your attachment to that is very, very different to his. He sees it purely as just money, a number, and he has a list, presumably, of how he wants to spend it. You have an emotional attachment to it. You have your friend is attached to that. She like it's part of her, and I think you have to talk to your husband about how that makes you feel, about how it makes you feel to have the money in the first place. Because I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I know from other people I know that have inherited money like that, there's a sort of sense of guilt, and there's a sense of you needing to be philanthropic with it and do something of meaning with it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, but that's because of your emotional attachment and because of how you come to receive it in the first place. Um, and I think you just need to have that chat. You need to have a talk and just say, look, this is more than just like numbers in the bank for me. This is my friendship. This is my connect. This was a very important person to me. And then maybe you have to listen to your husband as well and just see where he's coming from, because he might say, well, we've always wanted this or we've always wanted that, and I'm sure your friend would want that for you. And again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you got to have the conversations. You've got to have the really open, honest, not the what should we spend the money on. That's not the conversation. The conversation is how you feel about the money and how his attitude towards it is making you feel. And then he's got to come to you and say, either, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that that's how you feel, or, well, actually, this is how I see it. And he might just bring a point of view that you'd never thought of before, or he might bring a point of view that makes you feel better about it. But money has an emotional attachment to it, even if it's just like, it depends on how you're brought up and how your parents were or whatever. Money is very rarely just a number to people. So you have to have the emotional money conversation with each other. And once you've had that, maybe you'll come to some agreement that you feel really good about, he feels really good about, and then you can get back to enjoying each other again. Because I understand what you said about how it's changing the way you feel, because when you have had a very, very strong connection with somebody, it feels almost like a betrayal, or that they're trampling over that feeling, because they're not seeing a person, they're just, seeing the pound signs. That's why it's really important to have the conversation, because you might be misunderstanding them. I don't know, but it's important to delve into that, because we don't want crossed wires, do it, Emma?
Definitely not.
No.
What a sticky situation to be
Yeah.
in. And I didn't realise that money, there is that connection with money. Like, if you earn it, you're like, right, I can do what I want with it.
Mm-hmm.
You gifted it. You think,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, it's like your granny gives you a tenner for your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself something nice for your birthday. I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't just use it on my big shop. You know what I
Isn't it?
mean?
It's so, I know that, but that's so true. I remember as a kid when you got money in your cards, and I would remember, like, let's say you got a tenner in the card. I wouldn't want even to spend that particular tenner on something frivolous, because that was the one my nana put in the card.
Yeah.
Rather than just like, well, there's two tenors there, it doesn't matter. I'd be like, no, that's the one that was in the card. So it comes with an emotional attachment that when you really delve into it, it's kind of mind blowing how much we don't just see it as a currency. Yeah.
Good answer.
It's a tricky situation, that,
It
but
is.
you just gotta go for that conversation, and then just try and understand each other's point of view. Otherwise, that's gonna, cause too much friction, and that's not what that money was supposed to ever be about.